Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bremster, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle by ZegreS. Always something that I'm happy to do. I think ZegreS is one of the people who sent me one of their first puzzles early on in my channel, and I was happy to do it. And ZegreS has turned into a master setter over the last 4 or 5 months. And now every time I get a ZegreS puzzle, I am both ecstatic that I've got it and terrified with what he's come up with now. So, yeah, very much looking forward to this one. It looks very interesting, so we will see what happens. But one thing, of course, I do need to mention is we are now well and truly like 2 days into my mini puzzle hunt, which is just a riddle and a single puzzle. I'm recording in advance, so at time of recording it still hasn't started for a couple of days, but hopefully a few people have successfully sent in answers. If that is the case, I am going to cut the video shortly, and future Bremster will jump in and introduce some people who have successfully submitted answers. This is future Bremster jumping in to both congratulate people who have already completed my puzzle hunt. There aren't many of them yet, but hopefully I will get more. So the first person to submit an answer was Scott Bathurst. So congratulations to Scott. You'll be the person who wins, guaranteed wins the November 2021 Enthralling Sudoku Pack by Ashish Kumar. And everyone else who successfully enters by the time my video is released on the 27th of January will be in the running to release another copy of that pack. So far, people who have successfully submitted entries are Virtual, Panthera, Crusader175, and John. So a bunch of setters who I've featured on the channel have already completed the hunt as well. These are not people who have tested my this hunt, so they are definitely eligible. There are a few setters who I featured who did test, and they unfortunately cannot win. And of course, everyone who does successfully submit the answer will be eligible for, will automatically get a 9 connected Sudoku puzzle pack from October 2020, I think it was, from Ashish Kumar as well. Thank you very much, Ashish, for providing the puzzles for this. I highly recommend everyone jumps over to Ashish's Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles channels and gives it a look. It is an excellent Sudoku channel. And yeah, his Enthralling Sudoku Patreon is just worth looking into. So if you go to Patreon and look for Enthralling Sudoku, you will find that. So when I first released this, I did make a mistake with the initial clue, and it was going to the wrong puzzle. What you see over here, one of the sides, I think it's this way, where the puzzle is showing will be the corrected version. I will put that on the video. Yeah, I'm really having an interesting time at the moment. That will be the corrected version, and I will provide all of the details. Now, I did say on the second day, and this is apparently the second day, I'm losing track, I'm recording all over the place, I would release a clue as to a second clue before I released the full puzzle link, which I will do tomorrow. And that clue is, why is what 3 words written in red? Why is the W not capitalized? And why is the 3 a number, not letters? That's not something I would normally do when I'm putting something in writing. Worth thinking about. Okay. Good luck, everyone, with the hunt. I'm going to throw this back to Bremster, who recorded this several days ago. And yeah, good luck to him and you. But for now, we are looking at Parabox by ZegreS. Now, a Parabox is, I believe, is an optical illusion box. So we've got one of those 3-dimensional boxes in the grid. This is why the lines don't quite connect up correctly. It's kind of hard to see it in the grid. I'll try and make the thumbnail include the image of a Parabox. And they are German whispers lines. So let's look at the rules. So what we've got here is, in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits on arrows must sum to the So there are 3 arrows, must sum to the digit placed in the circle. So these 3 digits added together will sum to whatever that is. Digits on the green lines adjacent digits on the green lines must have a difference of at least 5. The most obvious repercussion of which is you cannot put a 5 on a green line, because if you did, then any 5 lower than 5 is 0, 5 higher than 5 is 10, and 0 and 10, neither of which are valid Sudoku numbers. And cells separated by a white dot must be consecutive. We've got 1 white dot. So that will give us something at some point. With that, this is solvable. Let's give this a shot. So we know that this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, because the minimum we can put in this is 1, 2, 3. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. These are both high, so I'm going to mark them as such. Really, it's got to be line coloring, doesn't it? So we know I'm not going to use yellow and blue, which are my normal high coloring. I'm actually going to use, let's say, green and purple. I think that works. So if I put green on that, yeah, you can still see the line. So that would be green, 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 that would be green. So they are all green. They would be purple, they would be purple, they would be purple. Now these lines are separate. So these 3, oh, okay. These are connected and they can't be green because I've already got 3 green. Hang on, that's purple. Is that correct? This green, purple, green, purple, green, purple, green, purple, green, purple. Yeah. So these must be the same, and we've already got 3 green in the row. So they are purple. That is green, that is purple, that is green. And we've got the same here. These must be purple, this is green, and this is purple. So, and we know the parity because of this arrow. Because these are, if this was 2 high digits, we can't have 2 high digits on an arrow that sum to a low digit. That is blatantly impossible, because even if these were the 2 lowest high digits, 6 and 7, we would have to put a 13 in there, and that doesn't work. Whereas if this is a 1, 2, we can or something higher than that, we can absolutely put a high digit in there. So purple becomes yellow and green becomes blue. So we now know the high-low parity of the green lines. And I forgot to mark that as high, that as high. So can we do anything more with that? Interestingly enough, well, this box is full, so that's a 5. One of these is blue, one of these is yellow. I need to put 3 blue in here, but I also have the 5 left over, which makes it tricky. This is not as obvious as it looks. I need to put a 5 in one of those and 2 low digits. Okay, so the 4s and 6s are probably going... These are all diagonals, though. There's not... So normally on German Whisper lines, you can do a lot of 4-6 eliminations. But that's not as obvious here. Like if I look at this box, for example, where I know things are, I can put a 4 there because I can put 9 in both of those. I can put a 4 there because I can put 9 in both of those. I can put a 4 there. That's actually a high digit. I can put a 4 there because I can put 9 in both of those. And I'm going to put a 4 there because I can put 9 in both of those. I can't put 6 there. I can't put 6 there. So 6 is in one of those two. If this is a 6, this is a 1. If this is a 6, this would have to be 1, 2, 3. So this is a 7, 8, or 9, because 6 has to go over here. That can be... This is tricky. Do I just want to mark all the candidates and look for conflicts? Because I've got it narrowed down to quads, and German whispers might give me something. So, for example, I know these are 6, 7, 8, and 9, and these ones are not 6. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this is actually tricky. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. That can't be 4. That can't be 4 because both of those would have to be 9. If that was 4, that would be 9. That's fine. I'm missing something here. This is 7, 8, 9, which goes with those 7, 8, 9. This right here is a 6, which makes both of those 1. And that's because I can't, if I put a 6 there, both of those would need to be 1. 6 there, both of those would need to be 1. This 6 there, both of those would need to be 1. So that takes 1, actually it puts 1 right there because it takes 1 out of all of those. This can no longer be a 1. Oh, this does, no. So, can this... I don't think that does anything. This is 2, 3, 4. This is 7, 8, 9. This is 2, 3, 4. These are 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't put a 4 there. So we know 4 is across here. We know 6 is across here. But I don't see why it can't be in any of them, because I could do 1, 1. That would just need a 1 there, and that is wide open. This is 2, 3, 4. So this can't be a 1. So this is 7, 8, 9. This is 7, 8, 9 because I can't put a 1 there. This is 7, 8, 9 because I can't put a 1 there. This is 7, 8, 9 because I can't put a 1 there. So I've now got a 7, 8, 9 triple here. This can't be 6. This is 7, 8, 9. They can both be 2. This is very strange. This is 2, 3, 4. So this can be 7 and that be 2. I feel I've got to do something with these 5s, but I've only got one 5 in the grid. Like 5 can go... Five is wide, wide open. So I've got to do something to force these arrows. This is 7, 8, 9 because I can't put a 6 in it. This is 6, 7, 8, 9, so that's unhelpful because I can put 1 in both of those. Is this arrow restricted? There's too many options. I mean, this can only be up to 6, but it could be anything up to 6. Can't be a 1. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay. Actually, that's not true. Yes, that... We can have a repeat on that arrow, but it doesn't change anything. What it means is, for example, we could do 7 with 3, 3, 1. But it doesn't change what the candidates for this are. Okay. I don't have to have a 1 on this arrow. Seven, 8, 9. May as well put it in. 6, 7, 8, 9. Can't be 6 because I can't put a 1 there. Now, is there anywhere it's restricted in a way that's not obvious? Like 4s. Thing is, I've got 9s everywhere. Nine has to be in one of these 3. But that doesn't... 4 could go in one of those, which takes all the pressure off. This can't be a 4 because it put 9 in both of those. So now 4 is in one of those 2, which means 9 is in one of those 2. That's a bad pencil mark, but it does mean this is not a 9. 9 must be in one of those 2. This can't be a 4 anymore. This is a 2 or a 3. What have you done to us, ZegreS? If this is a 7, this is a 2. If this is a, this can't be a 7 because these would both need to be 2. Same here. This can't be a 7 because if I put 7 in either of the, if 7 there would need 1, 2 on either side of it, I don't have the 1. 7 there would need 1, 2 on either side of it, I don't have the 1. This is an 8, 9 pair. I can take 8, 9 out of there. This becomes a 6, 7 pair. Now, this is a 6 or a 7. This cannot be a 3. This is a 1 or a 2. Now, this arrow needs to sum to 6 or 7. Now, I can never put a 6 on it because that would need 1 and 0. If I put 5 on it, that would need 1 and 1. That doesn't work. If I put 4 on it, I would need 1 and 2 to get to 7. Now, if I put 4 here, this is not 7 anymore. This is an 8, 9. This is a 7, which forces this to be a 2. Forces that to be a 3. Which takes 3 out of there. That becomes a 2, 4. So whichever one of these is a 9 forces the one of those to be a 2, which forces one of those to be a 9. Now this 3 means that's not a 7. I've now got an 8, 9 pair, so there's no 8 or 9 up here. This is a 6 or a 7. So this is either 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 4, and there must be a 1, 2 on it. There's no 3 on there. But there still can... These are all low. There's no 7 there. So having got that, I wondered if I could do another trick down here, but I don't think I can. But these were all low. Now, if this is 2, 3, 4, does that do anything? Because otherwise I need to put a 1 in here. Not seeing it. I've still got nothing with this 5. Like, I can't even force high digits into any of these. Like, this is 5, 7, 8, or 9. Okay. This is 5, 6, 8, or 9. Okay. This sees 4 high digits, but it doesn't see all 4 low digits. So it's either the low digit that's not on this arrow or a 5. How does that help me? Now, there needs to be a 1 on this arrow, doesn't there? If there's no 1, we've got 2. No, we could do 2, 3, 2. So we could do 2. No, we can't go 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Because we'd have to put 2, 2 there, and we can't put a 3 there, and we can't do 2, 2, 2. So there has to be a 1 on this arrow. So there is no 1 here. So there's no 1 up there. So there is now a 1 in there. If this is a 4, this would have to be a 1, 2. So this would be 4, 2, 1. This would be a 9. This would be an 8. This would be a 9. This would be a 4. This would be a 9. Hang on. Did I start with that being a 4 or that being a 4? I think I started with that being a 4. What if that's a 4? I still need 2 and 1. So if this is 4, that's 3, that's 2, this is 4, this needs to be 2, 1. This would be 4, this would be 3 because I've used 2, 1 here. 4 and 3 see this would be 2, this would be 4, and I'd have 2 4s. There's no 4 there. I don't know why I haven't marked that low. If this is 4, these are a 2, 3 pair. So if this is 4, this is 4. These are 1 and 2. This is 3, this is 2. Yeah, that's not as... I am lost in the woods. Completely unsure about what I'm supposed to be doing. If this is a 6, hang on, that's interesting. If this is a 6, this has to be a 1. This becomes a 7. And these have to total 6. Which would have to be 2, 4. So to be 6, 1, 7, 2, 4. 6, 1, 7, 2, 4, 9, 8, 9, 4. There's something going on here. Six makes this 1. 1 means I need to put 6 on this arrow, which has to be done with 2, 4. Because, oh no, I could use 3, 3. Damn. I am not having a good run of it, am I? What about this arrow? Is this going to give me anything? No. Three is in there. Does that do anything? Because three is... This is not a 7. Because of that 7. What am I... So 7 now is in one of those three along with 6. So 6 and 7 are both up there. I can't put 6, 7, 8 or 9 in here, but I've known that for ages. I don't know where the 5 goes. If there's 4, 9, 8, 7, that can't be 7. That'd have to be 1, 2. This is not 7. I've got an 8, 9 pair. I can take 8 and 9 out of there. This can no longer be 4 or 3. This is a 1, 2 pair. This is a 3. There is no 3 there. There is no 2 there, which means that is not a 7. Now, this is 3. This now has to be 3 to make this 6, which makes this 7. 7 on a whisper line can go with either 1 or 2. 7 cannot go next to 3, so this is not a 7. 7 cannot go, so this is another 8, 9 pair. 3 is now down here somewhere. So this arrow is now effectively done. But if that is 6, that is 1. Yeah, I'm not sure. I still can't restrict these 5s. 2 is in one of those two, because 2 is knocked out of all of those, and that 1, 2 knocks it out of those. So 2 is in there. 3 can't be in those anymore. So 3 is in one of those. Hang on, 4 is in here. That's not a 4. That is a 1 or a 2. That cell, if I could knock 3 out of it. 3, wait a minute. 3 in this box is in one of those two now. So this is not the 3, this is the 3. And is low. This is now high and is 6 or 7 because I've got the 8, 9. So this is a 6 or a 7. I now have 4 highs in this box. So these are 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is a 4 or a 5. Is that restricted now? So I'm just going to pencil mark these. These are 4, 5, 8, and 9. That can't be an 8 or a 9 because of those. So 4, 5, 8, or 9. This is 4, this is 5 because it can't be a 3. This is 5, this is 4 or 6. This is 8, this is 7. This can't be a 9 because that would have to be an 8 and there's an 8-9 pair looking at it. So that is more restricted than I thought. This can't be 4, 5. So if I put a 4 on here, that would be 4, 5, and that would have no value. There is no 4 on this. If this was 5, that's not consecutive with any of those. So this is either 5, 6, or 7, 8. Four, 5, 8, 9 across here now. This is bonkers. I still don't know how I get out of this hole I'm in. What? Because I can still put 1, 2, 3 on this. 2, 3, 1 seems fine. What are the whisper restrictions I have missed? This can be 1, 2, so that can be 7. If this is 3, this would be 8, 8, or 8, 9. If this was 8, yep, this was 9, or if this was 4, these would be 9, 9. If this is 4, these would be 9, 9. If this is 4, these would be 9, 9. One of these are going to be 4, one of these are going to be 2, but when it becomes a 2, it can easily then connect up okay. 4 with 9, 9. I don't see why that would be a problem. 4 here, 9, 9, 2, 4, 9, 9 would all work. Oh, this is way longer than I thought it would be. I saw this many whisper lines in the puzzle and thought, this one is actually not going to be too bad. I'm not going to be bringing another brutally hard puzzle to the channel. Sorry. Or maybe I'm just going through a bad patch. So these are 2, 3, 4, and 5. That can't be a 3. That can't be a 2. Four, 5, 6, 7. That can't be a 6 or a 7, so that's a 4 or a 5. So we've got 1, 2, 4, 5 down here. When this turned out to be more restricted, I mean, this actually, what am I talking about? That's a high digit. which has given me all 4 high digits. This is low because this sees 4 high digits and a 5. So this is 1, 2, or 4, which gives me a 1, 2, 4 triple. These are all high. So these are 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this sees a 7, 8, and 9. Bingo! That's a 6. That's a 7. There's no 3 in here. This is now 1, 2, 4. There is no 6 down here. There is a 7 in there. That 7 has done diddly squat. I now know there is a 5 in here. I know, no, I don't know where the 5 is in there. Oh. Thought that would give me something. Come on. Hang on. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple. This must be a high digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is high. So this is 6, 7, 8, or 9, but I don't know which. That puts 5 in one of those two, which takes 5 out of those, which makes that a 5. That takes 5 out of there. That becomes a low digit. I've got a 1, 2, 4 triple. This being a 5 takes 5 out of those and puts the 5 there. Which takes 5 out of there and puts 5 in those two. This now must be low because it sees 4 high. That is a low digit. And that's the 3. Which has not helped me at all. These are 5, 8, and 9. I do know that. Hang on, that's a 5, 8, 9 triple. This is a 6. There is no 6 here. This now must be a low digit, and it's 1, 2, or 4. There's no there is now a 3 on this arrow. So if it's a 6, it's 1, 2, 3. So it would be 2, 3, 1. If it's an 8, it's 1, 3, and 4. So I don't see a restriction on that. And if it's 9, it's 2, 3, 4. Six, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. These are 1, 2, 4, and 5. And this is not a 1, and this is not a 2. Okay, so the whisper lines, are they giving me anything extra now? Because I've forced a few more digits, but they don't seem to be on or around the whisper lines. This is hard stuff. This could still be a 2 to make that a 7. 4, 9, 4, 9, 9. 8, 7 would make that 6, make that 1. This would be a 9. This would be a 2. 9, 2, 6, 1. 8, 7. 8 would make that 3 and that 2. This would be a 1. Yeah, I'm not seeing a problem. At least not with the look ahead I'm doing in my head. I'm starting to lose track. Okay, these are 1, 2, 4, and 5. This is not a 1. This is not a 1. So these have to sum to 8 or 9. Well, I can't use a 1 there, so this has become the 1. If I use a 2 there, this is the 4. I should have looked at this arrow. This is a 3, this is a 2. There's no 2 or 4 here. This is a 5. 4 and 5 make 9. Right, now we've got some progress. That 9 takes 9 out of both of those. Now, this is a 1, so this could be a 6, but so could any of these. This 3 is fine for that. That 2 means that can be a 7, that can be an 8 or a 9. All of that still works out. Yay! There is no 5 over here anymore. These are both low. There is a 1, so that is a 2-4 pair. Come off it. This is a 4, so this is a 9. There's no 9 up here, so this is an 8. This is a 9. There is no 9 over here. 8 must be in one of those two. That 4 is making that 2, which is taking 2 out of there. 3 or 4 can go between two 9s. This is not an 8 anymore. This is not a 5. This is actually a 6-7 pair, and that is a high digit. There is no 8 there anymore. There's no 2 there. That is the 1. This is a 2-4 pair. That 2-4 pair makes that the 1 and takes the 1 out of there. This is a hard slog. Okay, is this more restricted now? If I put a 1 on this arrow, it has to go there. It would be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's put those in. It's 1, 2, 3. Of course. It's 1, 2, 3. I can't put a 5 on this arrow anymore, because there must be a 3 on it. It's 1, 2, 3 in that order, because 1 must go there and 2 must go there. If it's 8, it's 1, 3, 4. 1 goes there, and then 3 or 4 down here in any order. And if it's 9, it's 2, 3, 4. and 2 must go there, 3 must go there, and this would be a 4. So this is now a 1, 2, 4 triple. There is no 4 there. This is now a 6, 7 pair. So this becomes the 4, which is low. That's what I needed to do. This is the 3. There is no 3 here. This is a 2, 4 pair. So this becomes the 5. I take the 5 out of there. This becomes a 1, 4 pair. This is so clever, but boy, am I having trouble finding the stuff. This makes this the 4 because of the 5, 8 pair. So this becomes low. That makes this 2 and this 4. That 4 makes this 2. I now have 2, 3. This is still either 1 or 4. I do not know which. But this is no longer an 8. How is this not resolved? This 5, 8 is making this the 4, this the 3, and this the 5. And this 4 is low. I really can't tell if it's whisper lines or... It is melting my brain. This has to be 789, doesn't it? Yes, this is 789. So that is high. This is 6789 and is also high. Wow. No, this 5. That is 8. That is 5. So that is high. But this being 5 means that is a 6. I can take 6 out of those. This becomes the 9, which means this is the 4 and this is the 1. There is no 9 in there. That being a 1 makes that a 2 and that a 1. That does not break the whisper line. This 2 makes this 4 and this 2, which allows everything on this whisper line. That 2, however, makes that 4, which forces that to be a 9, that to be an 8. That is a 2. 2 goes with all of those. Yep, that's all working. Any of those can go between 2 1s. Any of those can go next to the 1. Any of those can go between the 2 1s. Either of those can go between the 2 and the 3. Either of those can go... I think the whisper lines are basically done. This 2 is making this a 4 and this a 2. This is still 5, 8. That's 8. I can take the 8 out of there. And that was because of the 9 here. That makes this 7. And we've got to be close to cleaning up now, please. So 7, 8, 9. So we've got a pair of 7s here and a pair of 7s here. So where does 7 go in this row? It goes right there, which makes that 6. That 6 means that is not the 6. That 9 means that is the 8, and that is the 9, and that is the 8, and we take 8 out of those. That 8 makes that 7 and that 8, which makes that 9 and that 7. That 8 takes 8 out of there, which puts 8 into there. That's a 6 and that's a 7. That's a 6 and that's a 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 9. And the order is known because of the 1 in box 3. That is high and that is low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 and 6. This is the 6 and this is the 3. This is the high digit and this is the low digit. I'm aware I can do these, but I'm going to save it. Actually, I am going to do it. So this is the 5. This is the 9, which is the high digit. The 2 digits I need to put in next are 5 and 8. So this is going to be the high digit. This is going to be the 5, and this is going to be the 8, and that ends Parabox. Whew! Yeah, optical illusion? Absolutely. That was hard to see around. I really enjoyed it, though, and I hope that you did too. Yeah, as a German whisper puzzle goes, that was phenomenally challenging. I'm used to getting a lot more with 5s a lot earlier. for a German whisper line that gave you so much in the way of here is all the high-low straight off the bat. It was very, very not forthcoming with just what those digits were. Um, and then just to have those four arrows and that one little consecutive dot give all of that information, but you really had to look for it. At least I did. If I missed anything, please tell me. Anyway, I hope you found that puzzle interesting. I hope you found either found my puzzle hut interesting or give it a shot. And yeah, come join us on the Discord server and talk to me about my puzzle hut and make suggestions. I will continue to post updates publicly on my Patreon page, which there'll be links to below. And as always, everyone, good luck with your solving.